Welcome, Andrea.
Hello. Hello, thank you for being here because I was absolutely torn between the different talks today and even at like those going on right now at the same time as me. So thank you for choosing me. So today a lot of things that I want to talk to you about RDP, yes, but about time, the schedule, and also about the how did we get those data is very interesting, according to me, so don't take that for granted. But first, who am I? I am a cybersecurity researcher at GoSecure. I have a PhD in criminology, actually, and I keep close tie with the university as an adjunct professor at Montreal University. So I'm interested in attackers' behavior and their, the way of thinking, of course, malicious hacker behavior. Their way of thinking, their decision-making, and all that. So I come with my social background and so I'm the data scientist of the team, working with computer engineers, and the social aspect of it that I'm trying to get back into the mixer. I'm also involved in my community, in the cybercrime, not the cybercrime community, sorry, but the cybersecurity community as one of the organizers of NordSec in Montreal. So if you're looking for a very cool conference and CTF, and you have never been to Montreal, this is your chance. So this year, well, last year, in 2023, we did Black Hat and DEF CON with our research. We talked about attackers' behavior when they compromise our honeypot, our systems, and the action that they do once they're inside. And we got to reveal like 5 profiles of attacker. We got the D&D team around our presentation there to kind of give some personality to the attackers. And we discovered 5 profiles, observed 5 profiles. And I will not tell about it for too long, but for example, there were like the ranger who identify and characterize the system to just open the path to others. There was the thief who tried to monetize the access by any means possible. There was also the barbarian, the aggressive group, brute forcing their way into more system through our RDP. So, there was very fun stuff. And how did we collect this data was by our honeypot and by our very cool tool called PyRDP. So this is how we reach our conclusion. So our honeypot, the PyRDP is a tool, an open source tool that is available. If you want to know more, you can just go type blue and red, purple team on Google, and you'll see a bunch of presentations that we did with PyRDP. But one thing that it can do, among many others, is it kind of grabs the video footage of the attackers when they are inside our system, and I'll show you here. So this is our tool when we visualize the session. So in 1 second, you'll see appear the screen of the attacker there, and then the mouse movement with the little yellow dot will be the mouse movement of the attacker. And then at the bottom, we see everything that goes through the clipboard and the keyboard. And also at the beginning of the session, you'll see like the host and domain name, also with the cred they use to enter our system. So here, administrator, admin, because we want them to get in. We want to study them, of course. So the session starts, and the first thing in the clipboard is our IP address. We're probably using Mascan or NLBrew to get there. When they type on the keyboard, we see it. Of course, we were seeing it on screen, but right now they are entering. They are changing the password, and we don't see it on screen, but we have it on the keyboard collection. Very cool here. They paste their own C drive directly on our system, so we can grab everything and proceed with their action. In this case, he's using XMR, the crypto miner. XMRig, yeah. So yeah, it's basically surveillance camera for Windows system. And that's very cool to watch and very cool to analyze. But, you know, the attacker do not magically appear on our system. You know, they have to enter first. They have to find their way to get in. And in our case, it's always with brute force attack. So, you know, brute force attack, you already know what it is, consisting in trying to guess the credential. So they will try the most username and password combination that they can to enter. So it means very often many attempt logging per second, right? So this is what I want to focus on today, like the data that we can get from those attempt logins. And you'll see that we can go very far in attribution with that. So you can guess that it gives us a lot of data. So this is like a map of where the attacks are coming from. We have like 190,000 logs. So it's a lot of data throughout the years. And if I took a subsample, just to show you. So here, administrator or any variation of the word administrator would be the most popular username that is tried to enter. So on the other side, a very bad username to use when protecting a system, right? And for the password, we were expecting very easy password, but then we saw that they mostly use variation of our RDP certificate, which means that they grab our information before trying to get in, which was very interesting here because the attackers were performing more targeted attack than we anticipated, or because of previous research. Anyway, there was different strategies observed too, using the credentials, so leveraging our system information, as I just mentioned, but also they use thousands of different passwords with the same 5 username, so they are very confident about the same 5 usernames. After that, some of them, like 26%, will use the same password as they use for the username. So username password is exactly the same string of character, or they will use the same combination more than one time, which is not very strategic, but still. So this is some observation we did. But today I want to focus on the time patterns. Okay, so when are they attacking? So I was there with my data, with a lot of data. And I noticed a trend that, like, on Sundays, there were less attack. So I was like, that's interesting. And I tried to map this, so at first on a piece of paper, and I was like, I'm seeing something. I was trying to convince my colleague that I was seeing something very interesting, but, you know, by presenting that, they were like, well, no, go back to your office. I don't understand anything you say. So I came back with an Excel sheet with a kind of calendar here. Okay, so you have the day of the month on your left, and the time. So the red spot are when the attack begins, and then it stops at some point, and sometimes there's no attack going on. So this is for one IP for 1 month. Okay. And at the end, when I came back to my colleague with this, it was way clearer what I wanted to show visually, so we built this together, which is a lot better, right? So we have the days of the month, so again, one IP, 1 month, it's July, and the hours of the day at the bottom. So we can see clearly the level of or the intensity of attack too by the color of the very small line there. So we were expecting to get something like that out of most IPs, right? We would be expecting non-stop attacks from the attacker, and you know, no pause or anything. But this represents 8% of the database. Okay? So 8% of all the IPs that are attacking us would look like that. So it's only 8%. The other, I will show you what we have as a result. So I showed you this one before, but I want to talk more about this. This represents 14% of observed in our data set. So what is interesting here is that most hackers that I know, most pen testers that I know, would use a list of credentials, right? They will start a list, try to enter, and then if it doesn't work, we'll maybe try another list. So this is what it looks like here. So a list is started, but then it ends. They were not successful to enter, so they start another one. But there might be a pause between because they might be not in front of the computer when the list is done, like trying to enter, right? So we can see that this is what, well, I hypothesize that this is this is what they are doing. But we also see other type of behavior or patterns. Here, two things are very interesting. First, there's a delay between each attack. So clearly, to avoid detection, right? They want to make it slower, make their attack slower so they don't get kicked out right away. This is a good strategy. 32% of the IP will impose a delay between the attack. But the very, very interesting thing here is that you see the holes, like there's two spots with holes, which correspond to weekends. So it has been documented in the past that some state actor will have employees that would hack for them, like employees like with office hours, right? And this would correspond to this documentation, as on the weekend, any office worker will take a pause, will take some time off. So it was very the visual representation of this type of hackers or state actor. The other very cool thing that we saw is a hole of 8 hours. You see the hole there. So attack might be going during those 8 hours if they has been started before, but none is started during those 8 hours. So there's a lot of hypotheses. So is it like nighttime? Are they sleeping at night? So then they are not able to start any attack, or is it an hacker that act while, like, they have a legit job but then attack at night, so the 8 hour would represent their legit job time, so when they cannot act for fun. So this represents 15% of our data set, in which we can see like this 8 hours old or 7 to 9 hours old in their activity. So the conclusion of this part is that hackers will have weekends, and they also sleep at night, or, well, sleep at the office, it depends. So now we know that there's a bunch of attackers that are, well, office worker, or at least, you know, in our data set. Office worker, probably state actor employees, and that they have weekends. But what about the holidays now? So we have a slightly different approach. So I tried, there was a hole in the calendar at some place where it didn't correspond to the weekends, and I tried to figure out if there was like holidays in some place of the world, and yes, there was, but I need more time to analyze this part. Okay? So I took a different approach just to study our holidays. So when when it's the holiday season for us, do the hacker try to leverage that and you know, take advantage? So I will focus on our holiday season, end of December, start of January, because some source of information stated that there is a surge of activity during this time of the year, and that understaffing is a huge problem. I wanted to verify this statement, and you'll see kind of challenge this idea, because our previous information that I just showed you, attackers are less active during the weekend, so it would not make sense to attack more during the holiday, according to the data. But at the same time, they can leverage understaffing situation. So let's see. This is a year of activity on our honeypot, a year of attempted logging grouped by weeks. The color represents the origin of the IP, and you know like me that the origin of the IP is not to be, well, is to be taken with a grain of salt because the attacker can use proxy or compromised computers. But there was a trend there, so that's why I did it this way. So we have up to 600,000 attempt login per week, and but is there really a trend here? I'm not sure. Statistically, I am not satisfied at all with like the very small surge that we see in December. But we'll still dig this as we should. So we will revisit the same graph, okay, 1 year of activity, but we'll take out all the activities that are originating from the IP from Russia. Okay? And right away, you can notice that we went from 600,000 to 400,000 attacks per week. So, you know, attack from Russia takes a lot of place in our data set. But the surge of the holiday season kind of magically disappeared. So there seems to be a surge here. But yeah, there's other surges. So let's see with another graph, again with my calendar analysis. The yellow lines show that there is even more attack in this time period. Looking at the result we got, we can confidently say that there is not enough evidence when excluding IP from Russia that our system is more under attack during the holidays. There is even a slowdown even. So yeah, there is a surge at the beginning, but not during the holiday season. But, you know, I'm not done, because what about the activities of the IP from Russia that were excluded on the previous graph? So here, the attacked activities of only the Russian IPs. We see a surge in December. However, you can notice the surge at several times during the year, and it is absolutely not restricted to the holiday time period. So for me here, there is no reason to believe that they take advantage of understaffed team of the holiday season. This is my conclusion. There is like surge, even more important surge at other time of the year. So they have weekend, they sleep at night, but also they slow down during the holidays. We already had the first two conclusions, and now from the data I just showed you, my conclusion is that there might be a slowdown, or at least there is no increase. So understanding the attack pattern and schedule of hackers, like staying one step ahead, this is the objective of our research. We try to anticipate their move and timing to hopefully prepare better our defenses. With our conclusion, we can draw how to manage resource allocation during this time. So, for example, I would advise not to lose your time and energy with trying to fight understaffing during holidays and weekend. Don't worry, go to the bar, drink champagne for the New Year's. The malicious hackers are doing the same anyway. But please be careful here. Because with what I say, because those data come from an analysis of brute force attempt on remote desktop protocol of a United States IP. So it does not represent the behavior of malicious actor at all time and on all their activities, right? So just bear that in mind. And I'm done. So I think I have time for a question, right? Yeah. Yes. So I'll take question. No question. Yeah? Repeat that. I'll repeat in the microphone. So we were not restricting our honeypot in what so every way, because we wanted them to attack us and we want them. So we were not restricting for them to attack us many times per second or anything. So no restriction. And it was also an old Windows system so there was no lockout policy installed there. So it didn't. It was not looking fishy neither because it was an old Windows. Yeah. Is there any other question? Yes.
The map plot charts looked great, and I was curious if you had any suggestions on other tools that you like to make maps for monthly data, weekly data.
Your question is about the tool that I use or they use?
Well, I was curious if there were other tools besides Matplotlib that you like for that kind of thing.
Beside I can't hear the...
Oh, Matplotlib? It looked like Matplotlib that you use.
Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, it was ggplot actually.
Okay.
But yeah, matplot. Nice. We use, this was heatmap. I didn't mention, thank you. So what we were using to map this, so it was heatmap, and it was kind of hard, but we are very open to share the code for that, because we had to impose, like we wanted, because it's heatmap, they will show only when there is activity, but I wanted also the holes in the activities. So we had like to insert some data to make the holes. So like every minute is a line, but it's blue when there's no activity, and it's yellow when there's a lot of activity. But it was only with like on Python ggplot.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks.
I'm done. Thank you so much.